First up on the show, the Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te vowed to resist annexation as China is exerting growing military and political pressure on the self-ruled island it claims as part of its territory. In a speech during the National Day celebrations, Lai said he would uphold the commitment to resist annexation or encroachment upon their sovereignty.
民族自由在这块土地上成长茁壮。 中华人民共和国无权代表台湾。
Now, China condemned the speech, saying it exposed that Lai is hell-bent on independence. China's foreign ministry also slammed Lai for his sinister intention to escalate tensions for political self-interests, they said. Now, China claims Taiwan as part of its sovereign territory and has not ruled out using force to bring the island under its control. Lai Ching-te has been more outspoken than his predecessor in defending Taiwan's sovereignty, angering Beijing, which calls him a separatist. The United States switched diplomatic recognition from Taipei to Beijing in 1979, but has remained Taiwan's most important partner and its biggest arms supplier.
Lai 赖清德的讲话蓄意割裂两岸历史连接，重谈互不隶属、坚持主权等论调，变换花样贩卖台独谬论，再次暴露其冥顽不化的台独立场和为谋取政治私利，不惜推高台海紧张局势的险恶用心。
And Thursday's celebrations mark the 113th anniversary of the toppling of China's Qing dynasty and the subsequent founding of the Republic of China. Earlier, a Taiwanese official claimed that China has been using every possible means to cause chaos before the speech, as the island reported more Chinese warplanes in the run-up. An official, while briefing on the wording of Lai's speech, said Taiwan is in a complex situation and that China continues to harass the island militarily and psychologically. And to talk more about this, we are now being joined by Ross Darrell Fengold, political analyst from Taipei. Ross Darrell, thanks very much indeed for talking to WION this afternoon. Let me begin by saying that the Chinese view Lai Ching-te as a separatist, making the situation even more problematic than his predecessor. How do you see the latest comments and the escalation?
President Lai likes to emphasize when he's making public speeches that Taiwan is not subordinate to China and China is not subordinate to Taiwan. So in the views of China, this looks like he's proposing that they are two separate countries. And that really is the issue for China. China does not want Taiwan's political leaders to emphasize that the two places are separate countries. China's leaders would prefer that Taiwan's leaders emphasize that they are part of the same country, China, but maybe each with their own different interpretations. So from China's perspective, there's very little that Lai could say that's going to make China happy, especially if he's going to emphasize that neither side is subordinate to the other. But when he does say that, that generally does have the approval of the people here in Taiwan. And Taiwan's a democracy, so President Lai has to reflect what the people here want.
Right. And China wants unification. As you said, the Americans say they will resist. Obviously, they're vague as to how. How much further can the two sides go in terms of military optics, do you think?
China can certainly increase the military pressure that it's already been giving to Taiwan over the past 8 years. There's been an enormous amount of sorties by Chinese aircraft, incursions by Chinese ships, large-scale exercises, but there's always room to expand that into even more frequent incursions or more frequent and ever larger military exercises. When China does that, it puts tremendous pressure on Taiwan's military because Taiwan's military has to respond, they have to monitor and be prepared for any further action from the Chinese side. So from the perspective of is it successful, it doesn't gain the support of the people here in Taiwan. In fact, it's counterproductive. It alienates people here in Taiwan. But from a military perspective, it certainly is a reminder to Taiwan how important it is that Taiwan needs to do what's necessary to defend itself in the face of the increasing pressure from China.
Right. And as you said, that the Chinese military drills have, of course, become bigger and more frequent in the last couple of months. What sort of what sort of support does Taiwan expect from allies like America and the West?
That's a very good question. For now, the United States supplies weapons, and it's the only major country that's willing to supply weapons to Taiwan. Taiwan troops do train in the United States with increasing frequency, and also with increasing frequency, the United States sends trainers here to Taiwan. Other countries have still kept a distance from engaging with Taiwan's military, which is something that Taiwan would like to change. Taiwan would like to see some of its close friends like Japan, Australia, Canada, for example, to do more directly and publicly with the Taiwan military, but those countries just haven't made that decision yet. And then, of course, there's always the big question, which we don't know the answer to, which is if there is a war, would any of these countries, including the United States, send troops to assist Taiwan? And that's just a mystery, and only the president of the United States at the time will know what the answer to that question is.
Right. Ross Darrell, Gold, thanks very much indeed for joining us with your thoughts this afternoon.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.